This is the biggest part of effortless manifestation, is learning to let go and letting the universe take the wheels, saying, universe, you know what I want? I'm ready for it. I'm willing to receive it. I'm open to it. When you let go of that desperation, that attachment, that pedestal mentality of whatever it is that you want to attract, that's when things are going to effortlessly flow to you. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've done one of these sit-down videos, but I really wanted to cover this topic today because it's something that I've definitely struggled with, and I think it's something that a lot of you can benefit from. So I'm going to be diving into the top mistakes that you make, or you could be making, whether you know it or not, when it comes to the law of attraction and manifesting whatever it is that you want. So stay tuned for that. So before we get into it, I'm just going to give a quick little rundown on what exactly the law of attraction is. Odds are, if you're watching this, you probably are pretty familiar with it. But for those of you that don't know, it's basically kind of the premise that like attracts like. So positive thoughts and experiences will attract more of those positive thoughts, feelings, and experiences to you, and the flip side of that is that the negative experiences, the negative thoughts, negative feelings, that's going to bring more negativity into your life. So it's kind of like if you were to picture yourself being a big giant magnet. Everything that you're putting out is going to be reflected right back to you, even more so almost like a mirror, if you want to think of it that way. So that's kind of the basic understanding of what the law of attraction is, and it's absolutely changed my life completely. If you want me to do a video on how the law of attraction has changed my life, let me know, drop me a comment below. I would be happy to do that. But yeah, the law of attraction is a great tool that anybody can use. Anyone has access to it. Anybody can use it to their advantage to manifest whatever it is that you want in your life, whether that be health, wealth, success, happiness, abundance, in many different facets. You can totally use it to however you want. Although there's a lot of slippery slopes when it comes to the law of attraction, or things that we can sometimes do incorrectly, subconsciously, that we may not even be aware of, that prevents us from actually manifesting what it is that we want. So the first thing that can happen, and that I am definitely a victim of, is not taking enough action when it comes to what exactly it is that you want. So there's lots of different ways that we can go about visualizing and thinking about what it is that we want to manifest, and one of my favorite ways to do that is with a vision board, and that's a great way to do it. There's nothing wrong with, putting up a little board of all kinds of pictures of things that you want, experiences that you want. Maybe you have a dream house and you have pictures that you found of it somewhere and you've got them taped up on a board. That's cool. That's great. It's really cool to kind of see your goals right in front of you and to have something tangible to kind of help you visualize. But a trap that people can sometimes get into is that they think that the work is done. Once you've made your beautiful vision board, you kind of just hang it up on the wall and you're like, okay, cool. Throw it in the towel, all the work's done. And that's the slippery slope. There's a lot more to it than just posting or cutting pictures up and putting them on a vision board. And that's the slippery slope of inaction. You think that once you've done that, everything's gonna come to you. The universe is just gonna hand you everything on a silver platter. So my best advice for kind of troubleshooting this little slippery slope is to act as if you already have whatever it is that you want. You have to act in accordance to your desires. That's what's going to attract it to you. It's not just the thought of thinking about it and visualizing it. It's actually being in that state of being vibrationally and emotionally. That's what's going to attract it to you. So my biggest tip here would be to kind of incorporate things into your daily routine that would better reflect whatever it would be like once you have that goal. So let's say you have this goal of becoming super wealthy, right? You have this vision of however you want to achieve that wealth, and wealth can mean a lot of different things to different people, but let's say money in this instance. You want to have a lot of money to buy a new house. Do things during your day-to-day routine, the very mundane things that will help you get closer and closer to achieving that goal. If you were to think about yourself when you're living that experience, what would your day-to-day look like once you have that goal? What would you wake up? How would you feel when you wake up? How would you feel when you're making your coffee in the morning, when you're driving to work? And try to match that feeling in the most mundane ways through your everyday life, and that's going to help you attract that experience to you that much faster because you're already in that state of feeling as if you have it. And fun fact, your subconscious mind doesn't actually know the difference between something that's not already there and something that's actually there in front of you. So if you're feeling that, that's what your subconscious understands. It goes by that feeling and it matches that feeling and it says, okay, I am matching this. I'm gonna bring more of those experiences to me. So long story short here, try to incorporate some things in your day-to-day life that can help you escape from that pattern of getting stuck in this mundane kind of rat race and make it more special, make it more of a holistic kind of whole being spiritual experience that will bring you closer to your goal. And one of my favorite things to do that helps me with this is to transform my shower into something a bit more transcendental. So a lot of people think of showering as just a time of day where you have to get ready, you have to, you know, wash up, whatever, get ready for the day, or, you know, at the end of the day you wash up, get ready for bed. But the shower is a really important time where you can kind of become mindful and more in tune with your body in the present moment, and being present is a huge way to help you get closer and closer to that goal. So again, inaction is never going to lead to the attraction of the law of attraction of whatever it is that you want to have come to you. So you've made that vision board, that's the first step. The second part of that is, what would you be doing on a daily basis once you have that? And if you can't do some of those things yet, that's okay. But try to act in accordance with whatever it is that you're looking to attract. It's going to make it so much easier for you, and that's something that has absolutely helped me. So the next thing I want to talk about is when we can become too attached to whatever it is that we're desiring to manifest in our lives. So let's say, for instance, you want to manifest your dream relationship, right? Your dream girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. And you're thinking about it all the time. You're like, I want it so bad. I just want to have like a husband or you know, a girlfriend. I want to have like a happy relationship. I just want it. I want it in my life now. If I could just be happy if I just had it now. That is probably the worst thing that you can do when it comes to manifesting, because if you're putting that energy out there of, if I were to just have this, right? If I were to just have this relationship, if I were to just get out of this job, if I were to just be able to move out of my house into a new space, then I'll be happy. That is such a trap. That implies that there is a lack in your life currently, and it also implies that there's a lack of gratitude for whatever it may be that you have right now. And this is something that I've really struggled with, especially during this lockdown, you know, time that we've had. It's been very hard to kind of be grateful and appreciative for what it is that you have, but there's always, always, always something to be grateful for, and you really don't have to look very far. So if you ever kind of feel yourself veering off into that way of incessantly kind of thinking about whatever it is that you are so desperate to attract, it's a slippery slope and it's not going to allow you to manifest in the way that you could be doing. Remember that desperation is kind of attached to that mindset that goes along with that, putting your desires up on a pedestal, right? That screams that you're somehow desperate for something that you don't already have. So flip that around. Think about what you're grateful for right here, right now. If you're watching this, you're alive, you're breathing, that's something to be grateful for. You got a roof over your head, you have internet connection, so that's something to be grateful for. So again, if your mind ever veers off in that way, that's a great way to kind of like recenter yourself. Again, bringing yourself back to the present moment. That's something that is profoundly impactful on so many ways. The other thing that I can suggest is trying to, this is hard, but trying to kind of like let go of that attachment. So once you've thought about whatever it is that you want to manifest, you've put that thought out there, you've put that vision out there, let it go. This is the part where you have to trust in the universe, higher power, whatever it may be that you believe in. Trust in the universe and divine timing that everything is coming to you and will come to you when you're ready for it. This is the biggest part of effortless manifestation, is learning to let go and letting the universe take the wheels, saying, universe, you know what I want? I'm ready for it. I'm willing to receive it. I'm open to it. When you let go of that desperation, that attachment, that pedestal mentality of whatever it is that you want to attract, that's when things are going to effortlessly flow to you. So another great way to think of it is, if you're super attached to a person or something like that, and you're like, I want them to reach out to me, I want to hear from them, and I want them to text me, I want them to give me attention, whatever it might be, when you all of a sudden kind of put that on the back burner, you're not thinking about it as much. It's like, oh, hey, this person's all of a sudden reaching out to me again. You've let go of that attachment. That is so huge when you kind of learn to not put your goal or whatever it is that you want to attract into your life on a pedestal. It's fine to have aspirations and hopes for what you want, and I don't want this to get lost in translation. It's so good to have a visualization of whatever it is that you want to attract. But again, it's that slippery slope of being too attached to that desire and kind of like stifling it and choking it to the point where it's not going to be able to come to you because you're not allowing the universe to do its magic and bring it to you. So here's another tip that I have that is something that I've realized a little bit later on in trying to manifest things that I want into my life. Be careful of attaching negatives to whatever it is that you want to desire. So the universe doesn't really speak in negatives. It doesn't understand don't. It doesn't understand won't, can't. It doesn't hear those words. So another way to kind of think of this is, let's say that you're in a position where you want to bring more money into your life. And you're, writing in your journal. That's another great tip I have. Write in your journal whatever it is that you want to manifest. And you write down there and you say, I am so happy that I don't have debt anymore. I'm so grateful that I don't have any more debt. Take a look at that sentence. Be careful of what you're attaching to that I am, because the words I am are so powerful. And let me know if you want me to do a video on that in and of itself. There's a whole other kind of rabbit hole to delve in down there. Saying, I don't have debt. Now, like I just said, the universe doesn't understand negatives. The universe doesn't hear don't. Universe hears debt. So you're basically, subconsciously or unbeknownst to yourself, bringing more debt into your life because those are the words that you're attaching to the I am, that you're attaching to your experience. So a great way to flip that around would be to say, I am so happy and grateful that I have financial abundance and freedom in my life and that I am wealthy in many different ways. And notice how all of those words carry that same sentiment of what you're feeling that you want to attract into your life, but they say it differently. And the way that you say them in your head, in writing, on your vision board, it all matters, it all adds up. Because again, even though you might think you have a good intention with that manifestation, you've got that negative word in there and you're actually attracting more of that experience to you, whether you know it or not. So again, solution there, be very mindful of how you're phrasing everything when it comes to manifesting, whether you're writing it down or even saying it out loud. Even in your mind, your internal dialogue, your internal compass, how are you phrasing things to yourself? Again, not dwelling on those negatives, focusing on the positive. Again, there's always that yin yang, there's an opposite side to it. So if you're dwelling on something negative, think about the opposite positive side of whatever it is. So this is my final tip, and it's something that I've really been kind of trying to dive into, especially the last few months here with this downtime that we've had. And that's not focusing on the future so much. So in other words, being present mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the above. And there's so many authors and philosophers and even great minds in general that have all kind of stressed the importance of the here and the now, the present moment, the eternal now. It's really all that we have control over. So this is where it can get kind of tricky to conceptualize. Like we've said before, it's always good to visualize what it is that you want. Think about what that future goal is, and then again, that detachment, letting it go. The big difference will come here with not being in a state of daydreaming all the time. And this is something I used to fall victim to all the time, like in school. I would sit at my desk and I would just dream about being anywhere else but in that classroom, doing that work, taking that test, and kind of always having my mind be somewhere else. My body was there physically, but mentally, I was not there. And I kind of lost that mind-body connection by being so absent. So in other words, being fully present is something that is hugely impactful, not only to helping, like I said, that mind-body connection, but also helping to kind of center yourself, to be more self-aware, to have a deeper sense of gratitude. So there's a few tips that I have for kind of helping to be more present in this moment, right here, right now. There's a couple of things that you can do. And one of those things is just a breathing exercise. So whatever's going on, if you are feeling any spectrum of negative emotions, or you're feeling kind of detached from whatever it is that you want to manifest, think about taking a couple deep breaths and say to yourself in your mind, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. That's one of the simplest ways that you can literally bring yourself back to the present moment. And it's almost like pulling your mind back. If your mind was like on a leash or something, you're like pulling it back and sucking it back in and bringing it all back to this present moment. And that's really going to take away so much of your anxiety or your fear, your worry, your doubt, because it's something that sounds so simple and it is a bit challenging to grasp sometimes, but if you think about it, if you're dwelling on the past or if you're thinking about the future all the time, there's so much worry and there's so much potential for negative emotions associated with those two things that prevent you from really living the present moment to your full potential. And think about the world of worry, of doubt, and anxiety that you eliminate by not even having to worry about the future. That's something that is so huge. And if you think about it, if you're worried about, something coming up the next day, like, oh my God, I have a big test tomorrow. I'm so scared. I'm so anxious. I'm nervous. I don't know how I'm going to do. And you're like, really like beating yourself up over it. Say, you know what? That's not right now. What's in front of me right now, this is my reality. This is my current state. This is my current being. Bring yourself back to the present moment, and all of a sudden that worry, like, it doesn't even faze you as much. And I've even noticed this when I'm meditating, if my mind kind of wanders off to a tangent of thinking about something stupid I did like 5 years ago, and then I feel all anxious and weird, and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, why did I, whatever. And then you're like, you know what? That doesn't exist right now. This present moment right here, right now, you watching me right now, this is your current reality. Don't worry about whatever you've got coming your way in the next hour, day, week, month. Don't worry about what you did 2 years ago, 2 seconds ago. It doesn't matter. This is the present moment. And when you become more present and you become more fully aware of your surroundings, you develop a deeper sense of gratitude for the things that are around you. You become more mindful. You become more accepting too. I think that being present has helped tremendously with being more accepting of things, learning to be less reactionary. So this is how you attract whatever it is that you want into your life to you. Yes, it may be a far off goal. It may be something that you're thinking for a 5-year plan for yourself. But what are you doing actively with each present moment that you're given to get you closer to that goal? And being present is one of the best ways that you can do that. You make every single second on this planet, on this earth, count, and use it to the best of your advantage. You can almost think of it as, there's a Tim McGraw song called Live Like You Were Dying. And that might sound kind of dark at first, but the sentiment behind the song is true. Live like you are dying. Seize the present moment. Carpe diem. These are mottos. These are themes that we've seen for thousands of years in all different cultures, right? Seizing the present moment. It makes such a difference. That's when you're going to feel the most fulfilled. And that's when you're also going to be okay with letting go of that attachment to whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life, because then you become more content with the present moment. You start to raise your vibration a little bit more beyond a place of, say, neutrality to more so acceptance. Then you're attracting more experiences that are going to match that vibration to you. And next thing you know, that becomes a habit for you. It becomes a habit to let go of your attachment to your manifestations. It becomes a habit for you to incorporate one of those practices to bring you back to the present moment, to fulfill this moment to its full potential. So a nutshell overview of everything that we've discussed today. The biggest tips here: let go of that attachment to your desire. Make sure you're putting action behind whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, that you're actively doing things in your day-to-day life that will get you closer and closer to that goal, not just putting things up on a vision board. And also not dwelling on the future, not getting caught up in the allure of daydreaming and fantasizing about what could be when you have this present moment here in front of you and you can make the absolute most of it. So I surely hope that something I have said has resonated with someone today. These are things that I have learned through trial and error with the law of attraction. And I've been following the law of attraction for the past 6-7 years on and off. I've kind of lost sight of it here and there, but I've returned to it, especially within the past year. So these are all things that I have come to learn have made a huge difference for me when it comes to manifesting, and I surely hope that it helps you all, and I surely hope that you make the most of this present moment, every single present moment that you have, because all we ever have is now. I'm sending so much love and light your way. I hope you have the most amazing day, week, month, year, and I will see you when I see you next. Namaste.